Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ria and this is your weekly astrology horoscope for the week of Feb 21st to Feb 27th, 2022. So let's get started. Now for this video, I am going to give you the astrology for the week and then I will pull a few cards for the week's energies. And on my channel, I post weekly video horoscopes, new moon video horoscopes and full moon video horoscopes. And you can watch those if you are interested. So coming into this week, all energies are direct. Energies have been direct for the past 2 weeks, which means forward movement, starting new things. The period of review, which was the beginning of the year, is over now, and it's now time to take action and make things happen. So this week we are in the full moon in Leo energy, which, if you don't know, then is a gateway which can help us leave behind the past and step into the future. So this whole week, that energy will continue. And on Feb 18th or 19th, depending on your location, the sun changed signs. The sun entered the sign of Pisces. So now we'll begin to see a subtle shift, right? Pisces is a creative energy. It's a spiritual energy. It's about closing out the past. So this week, the Piscean themes, the Pisces energy, which is flexible, which is about going with the flow, which is creative, which is spiritual, will be there in subtle ways. We also had the Mars-Venus conjunction last week, right? But this week, Mars and Venus will be really close. So we'll feel that energy this week as well. And the Mars-Venus conjunction energy can manifest in 2 ways. One, it can give us a lot of passion for our relationships, for the projects that we're working on, and for ourselves, self-worth as well. You know, working on maybe ourselves, working on our appearances, things like that. Or it can lead to frustration about the same things. It can lead to frustration about our projects, about our relationships, about how we feel about ourselves. So it can manifest in both ways. So just be mindful of that. And last week, we also had Jupiter sextiling Uranus, right? And that means that last week, starting the end of last week, a lot of sudden energy, a lot of unexpected energy, and a lot of energy came our way, right? And this week, the beginning of the week, Jupiter and Uranus will be very close in a sextile, in a 60-degree angle. So this week, that energy, which can be sudden, which can be unexpected, which can lead to realizations and epiphanies and ideas, continues towards the beginning of the week. So that's the brief background of what energies we are bringing in to this week from last week. And now let's talk about the events of this week. So this week on Tuesday, the moon will oppose Uranus, right? The moon in Scorpio will oppose Uranus in Taurus and square Saturn in Aquarius. And what that means is that Tuesday can be a slightly stressful day because the moon is making these challenging aspects. So just be mindful of that, right? And then on Wednesday, we have the last quarter square of the moon. Now, give or take a few hours, maybe even a day, because the time will vary depending on your location. So on Wednesday, Feb 23rd, we have the last quarter square of the moon. So this essentially begins a week-long phase, almost a week-long phase, till the new moon in Pisces happening on 2nd March, which is about releasing. It's about releasing, it's about letting go. So the whole week starting Wednesday, this energy will kick in where we'll say, okay, what do I need to let go of? What emotions don't serve me? What do I need to release? That's the vibe, right? And on the same day, Mars will sextile Neptune, right? Make a 60-degree angle with Neptune. Now, Mars is the planet of action, of our drive, of courage. And Neptune is the planet of spirituality, of creativity. It's a very magical planet, right? Neptune is also delusion and confusion, but this is a positive aspect. So what this could mean is that there's a lot of creative energy, right, to really make things happen. We can take action from a creative place, from a spiritual place. Overall, it's a easy, free-flowing energy that can help us take action, get creative about how we do things. So that's happening on Wednesday, Feb 23rd as well. Now again, give or take a day or a few hours depending on your location, because the time will change depending on where you're at in the world. Then a day after that, on Thursday, Venus will sextile Neptune, and Neptune is considered the higher octave of Venus, right? Venus is representative of romantic love, of relationships, of projects, of beauty. And Neptune is about spiritual love. It's about connecting with the higher realms. It's about creativity. So this aspect can give us a lot of free-flowing energy to be creative. It can give us a magical feeling about our relationships or projects. And overall speaking, it's a positive vibe. So that's Thursday. Then moving on to Friday this week, we have a slightly challenging aspect. Mercury, the planet that rules our logical mind and communication, will make a 90-degree angle with Uranus, the higher octave of Mercury, which can bring about sudden changes, which can bring about insights, epiphanies, realizations. But this is a slightly stressful aspect. And when Uranus contacts our mind, right, it's a lot of energy. So we might feel anxious, we might feel frazzled, we might feel like there's a lot of stimulation. So just be mindful of that. Alternatively, when Uranus contacts our mind, Mercury, we can receive insights, we can have ideas, we can have epiphanies and realizations. Overall speaking, it's a lot of stimulation for our mind. Be mindful of your communication though. Uranus is sudden. Think of it like outbursts, right? Uranus can have outbursts. And when it contacts the planet of our communication, Mercury, we might say things, we might communicate unexpectedly in a harsh manner because this is a stressful aspect, right? 90-degree angle. So just be mindful of your communication, of your reactions, of how you're thinking as well. Thursday into Friday, because this is a unpredictable energy. It's a lot of energy. It can lead to unpredictable communication, unplanned communication, which might come about not in the best way. So just be mindful of that. And that's pretty much it for this week. So to sum it up, I would say that this week is a lighter week than say last week or the week before, but there is forward movement to go after what you want, get things done. Mars and Venus, both of them, will sextile Neptune. So a lot of creative free-flowing energy. The sun is in Pisces. So again, that creatively free-flowing energy is there with us. Be mindful Thursday into Friday with Mercury getting ready to square Uranus, because that can bring about unpredictable thoughts, unpredictable communication. Alternatively, it can also bring insights, epiphanies, and realizations, right? Mars and Venus this week will be very close, so this can again lead to a lot of passion for our relationships, for our projects, for working on ourselves, our self-worth, our appearances, or it can lead to frustration about the same things. So that's the basic energy. Now consider this week as a build-up to next week, right? Because next week, there's a lot happening. When before I move, okay, let's talk about next week, and then I'll tell you what we can start feeling on the weekend. So next week, we have a lot of conjunctions, right? Mars is going to conjunct Pluto, Venus is going to conjunct Pluto, Sun is going to conjunct Jupiter, and we also have the new moon in Pisces, and both Mars and Venus are going to change signs. So next week, there are a lot of conjunctions, right? So this week and towards the end of this week, we can start feeling that build-up. Now, what is that build-up? So let's break it down. Mars and Venus are already very close, and I've kind of explained what that might bring. And now we have Pluto meeting up with both these planets on the same day, March 6th. Again, this can vary depending on your location. So by a few hours or a day or so, not too long, so not too much. So think of it like March 6th or so. So let me break this energy down for you. Now, Pluto is the planet of transformation, of catharsis, of healing, of endings, of beginnings. Pluto is power. And now it's meeting up with Mars and Venus, right? And Mars is our drive, it's action, and it's also anger and frustration. And Venus is our projects, and it's our relationships, and it's our self-worth, right? These are Venus ruled things. So when they meet up, right, with the Mars-Pluto conjunction, one, it can give us a lot of power, Pluto, to make things happen, to take action, to go after what you want. But the downside of that energy is that it can give us a lot of power in a negative manner as well, right? It can give us a lot of power that might result in communication that is not very pleasant and things like that. So again, it depends on how this energy manifests, but generally speaking, if we manifest it by taking action and going after what we want and doing things, right, using that Pluto power but to make things happen, Mars, it won't manifest negatively, but the negative manifestation is there of intense anger, intense frustration, right? Pluto is very intense and Mars is anger and frustration. So just be mindful of yourself starting the end of this week, focus your energies in really working, making things happen, doing things, taking action. And with Venus there, this can lead to a transformation to our projects and relationships, right? And this is the time that Venus will be out of its retrograde zone. Venus retrograded between 11 and 26 degrees of Capricorn. So by the weekend or so, it will move past that, right? By next week, say it'll move past that 26 degree spot, and then it will meet up with Pluto. And this is probably the moment where all the review we've done since December 19th, 2021 will reveal itself in some ways, maybe, right? Because Pluto is also information coming about. So maybe we'll finally figure out, okay, this is what I need to do with my relationships, with my projects. And Mars is there to support us to make things happen. But this energy can manifest negatively as intense anger, intense frustration. So just be mindful of that. And Pluto energy feels heavy, right? It feels heavy. So just keep that in mind that towards the weekend, we might feel the buildup of this conjunction. And next week on 2nd March, we also have Mercury conjuncting Saturn, right? So we'll feel the buildup towards the weekend as well. And Mercury is our mind, and Saturn is the planet of hard work, decisions, discipline, and limitations and restrictions, right? And with Mercury, it can make us feel slightly low, right? It can. So towards the weekend, be mindful of these energies that can feel very overpowering, that can feel very restrictive also. So towards the weekend, we'll start to feel that. But overall speaking, it's a lighter week with a build up to a lot of conjunctions and a new moon next week. So that's the week in a nutshell. And to sum it up, I would say this is a lighter week with a build up to a more astrologically eventful week. And this week there's a lot of creative, free-flowing, flexible energy. So that's there. And towards the weekend, we'll feel the Mars-Pluto conjunction, the Venus-Pluto conjunction, Mercury-Saturn conjunction, and the new moon starting to come about in Pisces. So towards the weekend, just keep your stress levels low and use that Mars-Pluto conjunction to go after what you want. And that's pretty much it. So now I will pull a few cards for this week and then we'll close it out. Something flipped. It says compassion. You are loved unconditionally. And Pisces is a Neptune ruled energy, right? It's universal love and compassion. And Neptune, I did say, is spiritual love, right? Spiritual love is unconditional love. Venus is romantic love, right? In many ways, you can say that's conditional love, but this is unconditional love. And this week, the sun is in Pisces. There's a lot of Neptune, Mars and Venus both sextiling Neptune, making positive aspects with Neptune, the planet of unconditional love and compassion. So this week, perhaps remember to practice compassion and to practice compassion towards yourself also. That's the first card. Generosity. Be the divine flow of goddess nature. And maybe this week the message is that be giving, right? Be generous, whether that's of your time, of your energy, or anything else, right? Be generous. And perhaps these two cards tie into one another, right? When we are generous and we don't expect, we can practice unconditional love and compassion. Forgiveness, and I think we got this last week as well. So again, focus on forgiveness this week as well. We got this for the full moon in Leo. I cannot remember. So anyway, we are still in that full moon in Leo energy, right? And again, this ties into these two cards. Until we learn to forgive, we cannot really learn to love unconditionally, right? And forgiveness comes when we are unconditional. So that energy is continuing this week of forgiving people who've hurt you, because that full moon in Leo in many ways is about stepping into the future and leaving behind the past. And sometimes what holds us back to the past is pain, and pain comes from anger and resentment, or people may have hurt you, or things may have hurt you, whatever it is, right? Till we forgive, till we let go, we cannot step into the future. So perhaps by doing these three things this week, and the universe is supporting these three things, the sun is in Pisces, right? Mars, Venus are sextiling Neptune. So practice compassion, perhaps even towards yourself. Forgive. And sometimes we need to forgive ourselves also. And be generous, right? Be giving, be loving, be kind. So that's the message for this week. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.